All right, Shalom, brothers and sisters out there. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And this is going to be entitled, this is the news of the day. All right, this is going to be entitled, I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it, but it's revolving around this guy dying, Lord Jacob Rothschild. Now, and I'll probably put Lord Jacob Rothschild dead at 87. All right, and that's what they call him, as you see it right here. Now, one thing I noticed right away, whenever you want to get news on these people when they drop dead, it's very difficult to get a news report. Normally, something like this would be all over every media site, as far as videos, but they really don't go into it. Like even when Evelyn Rothschild perished, probably about 2 years ago, they don't even go, like it was hard to find a video. You can find it. It's all in all the publications that you can see, right? New York Times, BBC, Reuters, Financial Times, Bloomberg, Fortune, the Times of Israel. It's all over everything, but it's difficult to find a video. And the one video that I did find was just this one from the Independent, which was basically, it had a little music in it, but it was a silent video. Anyway, you brothers and sisters that follow the truth, you should know who this individual is, because when you think about the Illuminati, this is a person that will be, you could say he is part of the Illuminati, or was, right? A lot of people like to associate people like Jay-Z, Beyonce, these celebrities. Those are just figureheads. These people right here, this represent, he was a member of Lucifer, a member of the light bearers. You see, that's who it is. These are the upper echelon of the Edomites. Okay, these people, one of the wealthiest men on the planet, on the face of the earth, and we ain't talking about hood rich. We talking about tremendously wealthy, trillions of dollars is what we speaking of. Okay, and like I said, when you talk about these people, this is the Illuminati, because the Illuminati is the upper echelon of the Edomites. This is who the Lord talks about. So now that he's transitioned and perished from this world, he's in the spiritual realm, and then you heard the apostles going into it and all of that. All right, these people are, doggone it, just bear with me here. These people are Lucifer, like I said. And I had a few scriptures I want to read. And I ain't going to go into, no big long dissertation about it, but I'm going to just read to you here. This is James 5. And when you're reading the scriptures about the rich men, this is mainly who is talking about. These well-to-do people of this society, the illuminated ones. Even when you go into the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, right? That really is a parable dealing with the Edomites and the Israelites. But when you look at these individuals, they are the tip tops. You deal with this guy, Evelyn Rothschild, Lord Jacob Rothschild, the prince, the king, the king that just recently died, right? I can't remember. Was it Prince Philip? The queen died last year or the year before that. The same year that Evelyn Rothschild dropped dead, right? You think about, those individuals, Princess Diana, all these different, dignitaries and royalty people. Like I said, the queen, those people are Lucifer, and they're going to be the first ones. They're going to be the first batch of slaves in the kingdom of heaven. Now, these people are they're going to have the ones that pass away, they're going to come back as children in the kingdom, but they are going to still visit the lake of fire. The Most High is going to resurrect these devils, and they're going to be a part of the resurrection of damnation. And they're going to go into that lake of fire, and they're going to burn in their flesh. They're literally going to be brought back. But that's for another time. Anyway, let's go to the scriptures. This is James 5 verse 1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped together treasure," so like you have heaped treasure together for the last days. And when it talks about your gold and silver is cankered, it means what? Spiritually is what it's, really what it's speaking of. It don't mean your literal riches are cankered or cancerous. No, It's just to their legacy. It's like resting to them. You see? Because the Lord looks at that all the great wealth they've extracted from the nations, and mainly the Israelites. Excuse me. The Edomites had the Israelites in slavery for a long time, and this has been their world. They ruled over the world with great fearfulness. And these are the guys. When you look at a guy, this individual, and some of those others I mentioned, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip and King Charles, and on and on, the other Rothschilds that passed away before them. These people are responsible for a lot of blood. Pretty much all the blood that's been shed on the earth, their hands are covered in it because they finance all the wars, both sides. I mean, when you get into the finance and these people, I meant to mention that other devil, Henry Kissinger. He worked for them. Okay, Henry Kissinger been a long time fixture, and yeah, you guessed it. The majority of these people go back to the 1948ers. It's just the bottom line. They're steeped in wickedness, and their hands are covered in blood. So there's no escape, and there's not going to be any salvation for these people. Okay, they played their role. This is James 5:4. It says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crieth." Right, all the money we lose, all the taxes we pay. The Israelites have been greatly crushed by the hands of these people. This whole system, this whole fraudulent money system, the banking system, the taxing system, you see, slavery, the institution of slavery and predatory lending, the whole banking system, all of that shit is their hands are covered in the blood. I'm telling you, you may have seen these people alive, living that wealthy life, and you may have said to yourself, you wish you had money like them. No, you don't. You do not wish to be one of them. See, they're going to be greatly punished. Okay, you might have been top of the food chain on this planet, but in the next life, you will not be on the top of the food chain. You're going to be on the bottom. It says, again, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth," which is meaning the Lord of the armies. So when we cry, we send up prayers to the Most High about our riches, about our money being taken from us, right? By the way we've been on the bottom, it entered into the ears of the Lord, and He's going to avenge us. Verse 5 says, "You have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. You have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed the just, and He did not resist you." Okay, and when you go, let's see here, all them that was just bear with me here upon see, Babylon the Great has been a great tool that's been used by these people. What is it, Revelation 18? I don't know if it's Revelation 18. Let's just see real quick. Babylon the Great has been a tool that's been used. Yeah, this is Revelation 18:24. It says, "And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that was slain upon the earth." Now that's talking about Babylon the great whore. But who do you think it is that owned the corporation of Babylon the Great? It ain't owned by, just one dude. No, it's owned by a powerful family and their relatives. Because it's been said that the Rothschilds are the British, that's the British elite, and that the Rockefellers on this side were the American version of the Rothschilds. And whether that's true or not, hey, they all in it together. It's a family thing. The elites keep the money to themselves, and this is why you can't find, you can't really get no information on the inner workings of these people. They keep everything tight. You see, they run the media. They run this world. So much money. Shit. Man, you'd be surprised how far back this money goes, how far back and how deep the rabbit hole goes when you talk about these people. But good thing for us that our Lord is going to greatly, I don't even know what the word is. He's going to greatly humble these people. Let's get real quick from the Good News Translation. I want to read James 5 from this translation. I want to see what it says. And it's interesting when these things happen, when one of these, so-called great men of the society, when they perish, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. But the dynamic of it is beautiful too. This is James 5 verse 1. It says, warning to the rich. And now you rich people, listen to me. Weep and wail over the miseries that are coming upon you. Now, when you read this chapter, you know it ain't talking about just your average rich person. Because you can't say Jay-Z was one of the people that shed the blood of all the things that James 5 said. No, it's talking about a particular rich man, a particular group of rich men. It says, weep and wail for the miseries that are coming upon you. Your riches have rotted away, and your clothes have been eaten by moths. Your gold and silver are covered with rust, and this rust will be a witness against you, and will eat up your flesh like fire. You have piled up riches in these last days. You have not paid any wages to those who work in your fields. Listen to their complaints. The cries of those who gather in your crops have reached the ears of the Most High, the Lord Almighty. And who was the ones that worked in them fields the most? You had us working in them damn cotton fields. All of America was built upon it. And these regular American devils, they try to say, oh, no, it wasn't us that did it. Look, all of you are guilty. You're all complicit. Okay? The Rothschilds, they the driving force behind it all, but you also got other families that's steeped in there too. And it all goes back, linked together through the rest of you devils that's been over us. And you ain't been righteous over us. So don't start whining and crying now when it's almost time for the judgment. Verse 5 says, your life here on earth has been full of luxury and pleasure. You have made yourselves fat for the day of slaughter. You have condemned and murdered innocent people, and they do not resist you. All right, and those innocent people that you murdered, which they wasn't really innocent, but compared to you devils, they were innocent, which is what? The Israelites. Now, when you read the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, it's talking about the Israelites and the Edomites. The rich man represents the Edomites, and the poor man represents the Israelites. And in this case, that rich man, whenever one of these devils, a prince, a king, one of the top banking people, when they die, they're in that position of the rich man. They want to, and I was just listening to Elder Apostle Oriam Lob and Elder Apostle Tahar in no particular order. Just I was listening to them, and their lessons go all into this. So they went into the parable. I'm not going to really go all the way into it. I want to read just a few lines. Luke 16:19. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. Now this purple represents royalty. You see? And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores. And the sores is what? The curses that's on us, the toil and tribulation that we go through. And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeing Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. And what's that talking about? It's going to be everything going to switch around in the kingdom of heaven. They're going to be on the bottom, and we're going to be on the top. You see? And that torment that they're going to feel is them being in slavery. It's just a parable. And many will argue and say, oh, little brother saying a man was in hell. You idiots. No, it's not. This is Matthew 13:34. All these things spake Yahushua unto the multitude in parables. And without a parable spake he not unto them. When the Savior taught, he taught in parables, riddles. He didn't always come out. And then when he was in private, he revealed unto his disciples what was meant by these parables. Mark 4:34. But without a parable spake he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his disciples. See, so that whole thing dealing with the rich man and Lazarus was a parable. To those who have doubted that we were the prophets, and you say we reading from a book that's been already written. Yeah, but the average person can't break this down. The prophets have to come to you and break it down. You never knew that the rich man and Lazarus were dealing with a parable. You thought it was telling a story of a man who went to hell and was burning. But if that's the case, how then could a tip of a little bit of water on the tip of somebody's finger give any consolation to somebody who's burning constantly in damn flame? It doesn't make any sense if you look at it from that way. But let's read it again. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. Now how in the hell is that going to help you if you literally perishing in flames? Somebody putting a little bit of finger on a little bit of water on their finger and put it on your damn tongue. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted and thou art tormented. And where is this place that here it is, Abraham standing over here, chilling in the cool, but over there on that side is flames and shit. You mean to tell me paradise and hell is side by side? What kind of freaky place of comfort is this heaven and hell? Or this heaven? Here it is, you in heaven over here chilling in paradise, getting everything that you want, and then you look over there and see your relatives burning in hell. How the hell you gonna be able to enjoy that? So you know that it's a parable. It's not literal. It says, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that will come from thence. See? So it's a gulf. It's a place where a gulf is fixed. But even with that, I wouldn't want to be over here in heaven, laying back in paradise, eating grapes, enjoying the water slide, riding on the backs of animals, doing whatever I'm doing, and then look over there and a great way off and can see people in torments, burning in flames or hollering. Wouldn't the moans and the wails and the hollering come over on outside? How the hell can we enjoy anything? It's a parable. It's a parable, okay? That's what it is. So remember that when you read it. It's a parable. And we got many videos covering it. If you want to see the full breakdown of Lazarus and the rich man, type in GMS and say Lazarus or the rich man or Lazarus and the rich man, and it'll come up. And that's all. It's just a parable. So it's parabolic for these devils. They're going to be in torments in the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to be in Abraham's bosom. We're going to be chilling. We're going to be the ones on the top, enjoying all the great things. And we're going to live forever. And these people, this guy, he's going to come back. He's going to be a slave in the kingdom. Him, what's that dude name? His brother Evelyn Rothschild, Henry Kissinger, Queen Elizabeth, Prince Philip, Princess Diana, all the rest of these kings, all the rest of these kings and queens, and not just the Edomites, but from all nations, but particularly we talking about these devils in this video. And I mean, that's pretty much all I'm going to read. I ain't going to read no more. I'll leave it right there. All right. This has been Lord Jacob Rothschild, dead at 87. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.